welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you the gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. We got a good one today, y'all. We talking about Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson, top 25 recruit for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who is already enrolled, already doing workouts, already doing the thing at the University of South Carolina. And we talk about her recovery from a gruesome injury to become a top recruit in the country. Tessa Johnson. Her story is amazing. Her story is symbolic of the best that comes out of this country. Hard work, determination, grit, all the things that I love, all the things that I embody as a soldier, everything that I love as a human being is what Tessa Johnson is. Tessa Johnson playing during her sophomore year in high school. Going back on defense, got tangled up with another player, ended up breaking her leg in a gruesome injury. Similar to how a Paul George, you remember Paul George played with Team USA and broke his leg. Similar to how a Gordon Hayward broke his leg during the NBA game. Tessa Johnson did that as a sophomore during her high school career. Tessa Johnson didn't complain, didn't do a woe is me, didn't question everything. What Tessa Johnson said was, it's God's plan. It is God's plan to make me a better person and to make me a better basketball player. How many sophomore, 15, 16-year-old kids would say that after a gruesome injury, that when she was being groomed to be the next Paige Beckers in Minnesota, tore up her leg? How many sophomores would say that? How many people would question? How many grown adults will question when their situation has changed in a way that they never foresee? Tessa Johnson said just part of God's plan. One week, 7 days after her injury, she was already in a doggone rolling chair shooting baskets in her garage. Tessa Johnson, this is what we got in South Carolina. Already doing that, okay? She didn't miss a practice. She did not miss a practice during her sophomore season. Only time she missed a practice was when she was doing rehab. That was it. She was still present and being a coach on the floor to her teammates. No woe is me. She got back in the grind, got back in the game, watching it from a coach's perspective. She would call her head coach, saying that she was watching film from 3-4 years ago. This is what we got in South Carolina. This dog right here is what we got in South Carolina. 7 months after her injury, she was back. Playing summer basketball, ready for the fall upcoming season for her junior year. 7 months because she attacked rehab like nobody's business. The grit and determination of Tessa Johnson is a model for everyone. All basketball players, all football players, everyone who picks up a ball or uses or plays a sport, or in the life, who gets a setback and don't do the woe is me, why it happened to me Just pick yourself up and make yourself better. Her junior year, averaged 24 points. What you have? 24 points, 6 rebounds. Made All-State. Her junior year. All the different coaches who stepped off the recruiting trail of Tessa Johnson when she tore up her leg because they didn't know if she's going to recover correctly. They didn't know the mental capability of her as a person. All those coaches came back during her junior year. Including head coach, our own Don Staley. Offered Tessa. Tessa came in for a visit, last September. She committed a month later over, I think, Baylor and her home state school of Minnesota. She wanted to be a Gamecock. And she got the opportunity. When offered that opportunity, she became a Gamecock. She went on during her senior year. Averaged 24 points, almost 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and almost 3 steals. Her senior year. Became a McDonald's All-American. Became a Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Minnesota. Led her team to the state championship and won the state championship. In the state championship game, she had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. This is the type of player that we are getting in South Carolina, that we have in South Carolina now. Ended up being a top 25 recruit. I dare to say, if Tessa Johnson would not have missed a good portion of her sophomore year, broke her leg, came back during her junior year, I dare to say, because that whole recruiting profile that ESPN does, that Prep Hoops does, all these different recruiting rankings that are done, she fell off the radar her sophomore year, came back up her junior year. I dare to say that if she wouldn't have hurt her leg in her sophomore years, Tessa Johnson would have been a top 10 recruit in the 2023 class. There is no doubt in my mind. It reminds me of, our current high school, Lenore Sellers, who's now a true freshman for the football team, who tore up his leg during his junior year, fell off the radar, came back his senior year, had 42 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, ended up being a 4-star recruit. If he wouldn't have got hurt his junior year, he probably would have been a top 5 quarterback in the country his senior year. I put Tessa in that same vein. We have the top 25 recruit. We have a top 25 recruit in Tessa. But I think, honestly, we have a top 10, top 15 type recruit in Tessa Johnson. First off, she's 5'11". 5'11", shooting guard, who's right now probably closer to the 6 feet tall. So I'm going to round it out. We got a 6-foot shooting guard who lights it up from all 3 levels, who also played point guard during her time in Minnesota, who can also defend, who is a student of the game, who overcame something that most players would not, who can shoot the lights out. This is what we have in South Carolina in Tessa Johnson. We have another shooter on this team to go with the inside of Camila Cardoza, the flashiness of a Raven Johnson, the shot making of a Malaysia Fulwiley, the outside shooting of a Tahina Pow, the dominance of a Sanaya Fagan on the offensive end, Bree Hall, who can do a little bit of everything, Chloe Kitts can do a little bit of everything. This is what we have in South Carolina. We have another player for USC. There is nothing that will scare her. There is nothing that will deter her. I love the story of Tessa. I love the story of her grittiness, her determination. I love everything about her. And reading more and understanding more about her origin and what it took for her to get to South Carolina in order for her to be a Gamecock makes me like her even more. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to the best Gamecocks coverage you're going to ever get on the internet. You're not rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Let's go.